Most men go through life believing attraction is about the obvious things: touch, looks, money, status. They chase after surface-level strategies, never realizing why their conversations feel flat, why their compliments don't land, why their presence doesn't linger in a woman's mind. But here's the truth almost no one talks about. Real attraction doesn't start with what your hands do, or even how you look. It begins in her imagination. It's the invisible spark you create when your words slip past her defenses and light up a part of her she didn't even know was waiting for it. The secret is this: women don't get hooked on physicality first. They get hooked on the way a man makes them feel without touching them at all. It's in the pauses, the moments where tension sneaks in, the sentences that sound like accidents but leave her restless for hours afterward. And once you master this, you stop being just another guy. You become unforgettable. The man she replays in her mind when she's alone, the thought she can't shake no matter how hard she tries. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how you can plant that seed of attraction with nothing but your words. You'll learn why suggestion is more powerful than bluntness, why restraint ignites more fire than overexposure, and how one simple phrase, delivered at the right moment, can flip a switch inside her that she'll never admit out loud. You're making it very hard for me to behave right now. The power of suggestive interruption. Most men think attraction happens through big gestures, grand compliments, flashy stories, or trying to prove how desirable they are. But what truly shakes a woman's core isn't in the obvious, it's in the unexpected. A single sentence, dropped casually yet deliberately, can shift the entire rhythm of a conversation and leave her breathless without even knowing why. Here's the phrase, "You're making it very hard for me to behave right now." At first it sounds simple, but its power lies in what it does beneath the surface. It interrupts the ordinary, it hints at the forbidden, and it plants a seed in her imagination that she can't stop watering with her own thoughts. She could be talking about her day, a funny story with her friends, or something completely routine, and then you drop this line. Suddenly, she's no longer just telling a story. She is the story. Why does this work? Because women are not wired to respond to blunt statements the way men are. Tell her, "You're sexy," and it dies instantly. It's predictable, it's overused, it's flat. But say, "You're making it hard for me to behave," and her brain jolts. You're not just describing her, you're revealing that she has influence over you, so much influence that it disrupts your composure. And that shift in power is intoxicating. The beauty of this line is in its delivery. It's not about blurting it out nervously or laughing as you say it. It's about leaning in slightly, holding her gaze, letting your voice drop half a notch, and letting the silence that follows do the real work. The pause is as seductive as the words. That lingering tension makes her wonder, what does he mean? What's he holding back? What happens if he stops behaving? This is the secret most men never understand. Attraction isn't built by what you show her, it's built by what you suggest. A man who reveals everything is predictable. A man who reveals nothing is forgettable. But a man who reveals just enough to make her imagination spiral, that's the man she can't get out of her head. I probably shouldn't say what I'm thinking right now. The addictive pull of mystery. There are words that tell a woman exactly what you want, and then there are words that make her wonder what you want. The first kind is forgettable. The second is irresistible, because here's the truth. Women don't fall for clarity. They fall for curiosity. Mystery is the spark that keeps her imagination running long after the conversation ends. That's why this line works like a secret weapon. I probably shouldn't say what I'm thinking right now. Picture the scene. She's laughing, maybe leaning closer, maybe teasing you with something playful. You let a smirk creep onto your face, Hold her eyes just a little longer than usual, and then, almost like you're letting a thought slip out accidentally, you murmur it. Instantly the air changes. Her brain stalls, her story stumbles, and she feels an electric jolt of curiosity. What is he thinking? Why won't he say it? The genius of this line is that it opens a loop in her mind. You've hinted that you're having thoughts, dangerous, forbidden, maybe even indecent, but you're not giving them away. You're holding them back, savoring them, containing them with control. That restraint is magnetic, because women aren't hooked by a man who spills every desire instantly. They're hooked by the man who has desires but refuses to hand them over for free. And here's the key. You never have to explain yourself. If she presses, "What are you thinking?" you can lean back, smirk, and say, "Exactly what I shouldn't be." The less you reveal, the stronger the effect. Her imagination will do the heavy lifting, and her imagination will always create a picture far more erotic than anything you could describe out loud. This isn't just flirting, this is psychology. Desire isn't about what you show her, it's about what you withhold. The Stoics once said, "True power lies in restraint, not indulgence." And when you reveal that you're thinking something intense, but disciplined enough to hold it back, you project strength. Strength that makes her lean in, strength that makes her addicted, because women don't crave men who are easy to read. They crave the puzzle, the man whose thoughts are just out of reach, the one who makes her chase the answer she'll never fully get. This phrase is that puzzle, wrapped in one sentence. Delivered with calm composure, it doesn't just spark attraction, it creates obsession. You have no idea what you do to me. The confession that fuels desire. Some lines don't just flirt. They pierce straight through her defenses and leave her breathless. "You have no idea what you do to me" is one of those lines. It's not a compliment. It's not flattery. It's a confession. And that difference is what makes it hit harder than anything she's heard before. Imagine this moment. She's laughing about something silly, maybe teasing you, maybe lost in her own story. You let her finish, hold her gaze, and then, lowering your voice just slightly, you let the words slip. "You have no idea what you do to me." The energy between you shifts instantly. Her smile falters into curiosity. Her body leans closer. Her imagination takes off, trying to decode what you mean. Why is this so powerful? Because it reveals impact without desperation. You're not begging for her attention. You're not saying, "I can't live without you." Instead, you're calmly admitting that she affects you in a way she doesn't even realize. That subtle vulnerability, wrapped in composure, creates a tension she can't shake. This line works because it carries layers. On the surface, it's honest. Beneath the surface, it implies restraint. You're hinting at an intensity you're holding back, a fire you could unleash but won't. Not yet. That blend of vulnerability and control is rare. Most men overstate or hide their attraction. This strikes the perfect balance, and the secret lies in delivery. It can't sound rehearsed. It has to feel almost accidental, like the thought slipped out before you could stop it. Soft, slow, unguarded, followed by a half smile, maybe even silence. That silence is everything. It lets her imagination run wild, creating scenes far more powerful than any words you could spell out. The brilliance of this line is that it leaves her with a question only she can answer. What exactly am I doing to him? That curiosity lingers long after the conversation ends. Later, when she's lying in bed, when she replays the night in her head, those words will echo. And each time she remembers them, you sink deeper into her thoughts. Because women aren't addicted to certainty. They're addicted to anticipation, to suspense, to the feeling that they've unlocked something inside you that no one else can touch. And this phrase, delivered at the right moment, makes her feel exactly that. Uniquely powerful, dangerously desired, and endlessly curious, turning ordinary conversations into unforgettable seduction. The truth about attraction is simple but rarely understood. It isn't built in the bedroom. It's built in the spaces between words, in the tension of pauses, in the subtle lines that spark imagination instead of spelling everything out. A touch fades. A compliment gets forgotten. But the right phrase, dropped at the right time, can echo in her mind for days, weeks, even months. When you say, "You're making it hard for me to behave right now," you jolt her out of the ordinary and make her wonder what you're holding back. When you murmur, "I probably shouldn't say what I'm thinking right now," you invite her into a mystery she can't solve. And when you confess, "You have no idea what you do to me," you pull her into the raw vulnerability of your desire while still holding the frame of control. Each of these phrases works because they do what most men never think to do. They hand her imagination the paintbrush, and a woman's imagination will always draw something more powerful than anything you could describe directly. You don't need to touch her. You don't need to rush. You simply need to plant the thought and let silence do the rest. Because here's the real secret. Women don't become addicted to your touch first. They become addicted to the way you make them feel when you don't touch them at all. The way you hold back, the way you suggest instead of reveal, the way you let her chase the thought you never fully give away. That's what makes you unforgettable. That's what makes you the man she can't stop thinking about long after the night ends. So the next time you're with her, don't settle for small talk. Don't waste your words on flat compliments. Wait for that moment, mid-laugh, mid-story, mid-silence, and drop the line. Then watch what happens. Watch the pause. Watch her cheeks flush. Watch her stumble as her imagination takes over. That's when you'll know. You've stopped being just another guy. You've become the thought she can't escape. And from that moment on, every conversation you have isn't just conversation. It's seduction.